You know what's crazy is that over the last 4 years, we haven't seen this attack against truth in some hypocritical way, mysterious way, trying to infiltrate it, hidden or in the shadows. No, it's been a blatant, outright assault. It's not like the ministry of truth that George Orwell talked about in his book, 1984. It is very intentional, outright, in the open for all to see. And I think when I look at the fact that the American people standing up and voting Donald Trump in as number 47, once he gets into office, we're obviously going to see that 2020, in my opinion, was won by Trump. It was stolen. We're going to see that J6, again, in my opinion, was infiltrated by the intel communities. And we're going to see the unraveling of all of that. But when it comes to truth and how this woke mind virus has shaped the last 4 years, speaking the true misinformation and disinformation and lies, propaganda, and control upon the American people and really the global populations, it's no coincidence that the clip that I'm about to show you speaks volumes at the highest levels. The lady who I'm about to show you this video clip of, her name is Catherine Mayer, and she was the former head of the Wikimedia Foundation and now the current CEO of NPR. Okay, NPR, big news publication, etc. This is what these people at the top, these globalists, these high-profile, successful controllers, handlers, if you will, believe at the top when it comes to truth. You got to watch this for yourself. Check this out.
But one of the most significant differences, critical for moving from polarization to productivity, is that the Wikipedians who write these articles aren't actually focused on finding the truth. They're working for something that's a little bit more attainable, which is the best of what we can know right now. And after 7 years there, I actually believe that they're onto something. That for our most tricky disagreements, seeking the truth and seeking to convince others of the truth isn't necessarily the best place to start. In fact, I think our reverence for the truth might have become a bit of a distraction.
Our reverence for the truth has become a bit of a distraction. Are you nuts? Are you kidding me? It's all about the truth. I mean, the psychopathic message that's being conveyed here, and listen, you'll see what I'm saying. Listen to the whole thing. But this is the type of behavior. This is the mentality. They know that they're lying, okay? They've almost convinced themselves of their lie, but they know the truth, the real truth. And they want to confuse and manipulate young minds that are still being molded coming up. And make no mistake about it, they've done a fantastic job of doing just that. But listen to the whole piece and what she says here.
It's preventing us from finding consensus and getting important things done.
The truth is preventing us from getting things done. Absolutely, because they want to institute lies upon the global populations and especially the American people. And it prohibits them from getting their agenda done, which is destroying nationalism, which is destroying our borders, which is destroying our economy, which is crushing us and absorbing us into this globalist community where we are nothing anymore. And we are burdened down in a way that controls, censors, and subjects the American people to a totalitarian regime. That is what they want, guys. They want this centralized power. And they cannot believe that there are still true patriots out there who fight and believe for freedom, faith, family, and our sovereignty. Listen.
Now, none of that's to say that the truth isn't important. The truth obviously exists. It's at the core, or the search for the truth is at the core of some of our greatest human achievements.
Yeah.
It can animate and inspire us to do, learn, and create great things. But I think in our messy human hearts, we also know that the truth is something of a fickle mistress, and that the beauty of the truth is actually often in the struggle. It's the reason that we have so many sublime chronicles of the human experience, because there are so many different truths to be explored.
This lady's a freaking nut.
And so in this spirit, I know that the truth exists for each of you in this room. It also probably exists for the person sitting next to you. But the thing is, the two of you don't necessarily have the same truths. And this is because for many of us, truth is what we make when we merge facts about the world with our beliefs about the world. Each of us has our own truth, and it's probably a good one.
We have our own truths about the world. Well, I'm sorry, honey. Let me make something very clear to you. There's only one truth. One truth. The way, the truth, the life. John 14, verse 6. Jesus Christ. And when it comes to that, when you know something is evil, when you know something is satanic, you can always clearly see this parroting, this rhetoric that speaks to people and confuses it and basically says, oh, there's always to truth. There's multiple forms and facets of truth. And truth is really what you make it out to be. Your truth can be different from my truth. No, and that's the problem. That's the confusion. That's the issue that they're trying to incorporate into the minds, especially of those young and still developing, because they know if they can capture them there, they can confuse them. And what did God say? He says, I'm not the author of confusion, but these people absolutely are. And this is how they operate. For those of you who have been interested in getting your blood test or swab test to find out your genealogy, family line, etc., got something really interesting for you. There's a story recently about 23andMe that really kind of connected the dots with my own thoughts and ideas and my gut feeling, if you can say that, as I've always thought it was really strange to send in a swab or blood test to these people and let them mess around with it. How do they have records? How do they know where you came from and who your relatives are to begin with, right? It's always struck me as quite odd. Some people say, well, it's just science, and they have this ability to do so. But I was speaking with a friend of mine a couple weeks back. We're having this conversation, going back and forth, throwing around what you would coin our conspiracies. And he was telling me, I think they're doing testing on people's blood and DNA to begin with. And then I come across this video, and I'm going to let you watch it and make up your mind for yourself, but it might make you reconsider about ever sending in any of your swab tests again. Check this out.
I wanted to see what would happen if I sent my pet lizard DNA into 23andMe. And so with the help of my wife, we extracted enough saliva to send off in the mail. We were so excited to see the results. After about 3 months, we were shocked. My lizard was 51% Ashkenazi Jewish. He was also 48% West Asian. This was really interesting. They also gave us a little bit of his background and his history, what he liked to eat, etc.
This is absolutely hilarious, and I've been speaking about this for quite some time as far as telling people I know personally, don't do it. I think it's fake. It's pretty much phony. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this. You got to let me know what you think. Drop your comments in the comment section. And lastly for today, if you haven't seen this already, 60 Minutes did an interview with an Israeli Mossad agent who suggests that many of the things that they do, they basically do it using the world, if you will, as their stage. Watch this for yourself. Check this out.
How did you convince Hezbollah to buy this?
Well, obviously, they didn't know that they were buying it from Israel.
Who did they buy it from, or think they were buying it from?
We have an incredible array of possibilities of creating foreign companies that have no way being traced back to Israel, shell companies over shell companies who affect the supply chain to our favor. We create a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors. We're the producers. We're the main actors. The world is our stage.
For me personally, this is not surprising. I think there's a lot of things that the intelligence communities across the globe are deeply entrenched in and connected to together. Companies, operations. We know all the various CIA operations that have been declassified and exposed to us in terms of MK Ultra, Midnight Climax, Operation Paperclip. You can go on and on and on with the various aspects of what's been put out there upon the American people. But think globally, other intelligence communities, KGB, Mossad, right? You can talk about all these various forms and facets of intel and what they've come up with as ways to create control, to manipulate, to coerce. In this case, they were giving out pagers and cell phones to people within Hamas and Hezbollah. But what else have they done? Has there been control within financial and economic situations? Has there been control and coercion within presidential campaigns and picks, maybe for president or vice president, assassinations and assassination attempts? Has that been within various cabinet members, people within Senate, Congress, and beyond? You think about all these different things. What aspects do you think these intel communities have infiltrated and gained control in and control till this day. I want to hear from you guys. Please drop your comments and let me know what you think about this. And until next time, continue to tell the truth uncensored.